Okay, welcome everybody. This is the first cryptocurrency live show. And so this is basically we are doing a challenge. And so if you're watching on Twitch, it's exclamation point crypto in Twitch chat. Those of you who are here on YouTube, you already know what the deal is. You've been seeing my videos about this. And you're here because you're interested in making money on trading cryptocurrency and maybe in mining as well, which we haven't talked much about mining, but we will later. Not in this episode, though. So the live show. So we have here 3 days until we do this challenge, and this challenge is that we're going to try and make 1% a day in trading, and we're going to do it with $100. So, $100, most people can get in on that. It's an amount that most of you who are buying video games or whatnot, you have $100 that you could probably do this, and I encourage you to join. So, there is a link in the description on YouTube for Coinbase, and also one on Twitch. Now, the Coinbase link, I'm going to be very upfront. That Coinbase link will give you an extra $10 worth of Bitcoin if you fund your account with $100 or you buy $100 worth of currency or euros worth. And it also does the same bonus for me. So I do benefit from that. And if you're okay with that, great. If not, just type in the URL directly and go do it for yourself. And also, I need to tell everybody, I am not a financial advisor. So I'm just telling you what's working for me and how I'm going to do things. And so, take it all with a grain of salt. Okay, now you can see here I've got GDAX up. GDAX is where I will be doing the transactions for the challenge. And I've currently got more in here than the $100 we're going to be starting with. I will make sure that I have $100 USD cash sitting in there, at the start. So, and I got to show you guys something. So I built this sheet here, and this sheet basically is tracking everything that that we're doing for this challenge. We have the first day of the challenge, we have the last day of the challenge. It's a 30-day challenge. We want to make 1% per day. And if we do that successfully, here's the math. We start out at $100. And then we go all the way down to day 30, we should have at least $133.45. Now, if you look at that in terms of a normal loan, let's say a loan, 30% a month would be freaking outrageous. Nobody would go for that. And if you can make 30% profit per day, amazing. So, 30% per month. That is amazing. And so, I probably should give this link to you guys that are in Twitch as well. So, anyway, yes, so 1% a day in cryptocurrency is an easy challenge. And I'm going to show you why. Okay, so let's not look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's actually, this right here, it's waiting to burst out. It's kind of what that looks like. So, but let's look over at Litecoin, which is more in the realm of dealing with this in, when we're talking $100. And why $100? Well, it's $100 because I don't want to encourage people to put in a ton of money and then fail at this. Because you can be dumb. It is possible to be dumb. Dumb happens. And so, with $100, if you can do this challenge and you do it well, then you can put in whatever you want. That's my recommendation. You can do whatever you want. You can blow all your money right now if you want to. Or if you don't have $100, you can do this with $10. It'll be harder, but you can still do it. So, anyway, this is the tool that we'll be using here. This is GDAX, and I will be showing today some buying and selling that will not cost money per transaction. It can, but I primarily won't be doing it that way. And I see here that currently Bitcoin, or let's see, this is Litecoin currently going down. I'm going to put in a limit buy, and I'm going to make these really low so that I can let's see, 2.7. All right, so I'm making it really low. It's it's 6 cents or whatever, but it's just so that we can do that, or 60 cents. So I put in this buy order at $60.27 for 1% of one Litecoin, and it's at $60.27.5. It gets in halves here sometimes. So the chances are that I'm going to make a buy here while we're watching here. There we go. I made the buy. It's dropping even lower. And so now I'm going to let's do another one. And this time we're going to do it at 60.19. So it's really close there. Okay, I put that in. And so we're going to come back to this, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with these and how I'm going to make money with them. Of course, you make more money if the amounts are larger, but when you're only dealing with $100 and you want to get as many trades in as you can so that you can, play with things and get used to them, you need to keep them low. So, yes, and this I would say is buying at the dip. Now, it may burst back up here, but I don't know what's going to happen with that. It may or may not happen. So I did buy in this dip here, and I sold on this rocket right here. And I sold, let's see here. I bought, I don't know, where is it? So, so I bought right here at 60.7, and I bought 1.26 coins. So it was like $70 or something like that. And I bought instantly, so I paid a fee on all of these. And then I turned around and I sold it for $61.70. So I made about, $1.15, something like that. And if this were we were in the challenge already, the $100 challenge, then I would have already made my 1% for the day. So, yes. Okay, now the Tenchi's asking about the eventual goal is to cash out back to USD. So we don't have to at the end of the challenge. It's up to you what you do at the end of the challenge. The challenge is really designed to prove whether or not you can make money. So let's see. Can I turn the mouse trails off? No. But thanks for asking. So I have 4K monitors here as well, and they're very necessary on the 4K monitors. You lose your mouse. So, okay, now let's see here. Here is my spreadsheet, and let's so if we start out at $100, we make 1% a day. Adding 1% every day compounded is $133.45 at the end of 30 days. Now, y'all ready for me to blow your mind? Because now this is really fantastical thinking. And, can it be done? I don't know. But I want to show you something of how starting out with $1 at day one, or $100 at day one, and making 1% a day, what happens to that money? So let's say that day one, let's say that we do this challenge was for a year. So a year, 365 days, 1 year right here, we'd turn that $100 into $3,740. Now, isn't that fantastical thinking? I mean, holy cow. And then, but what if we took it out to 2 years? What happens to that is it keeps compounding. And year two, $141,000 $141,000. Year three, which gets into the holy shit range. Year 3 is 5.3 million. And so, if you look at that, you go, oh my God. Really, just think about it. In 3 years, turning $100 into 5.3 million, you will work your ass off for it. But that's what the math says if you just increase by 1% a day. Now, something to point out there is that, can this market continually climb, for that period of time? Maybe you just leave your money in. The people who had Bitcoin 2 years ago or 3 years ago, they've just sat and done nothing, or, if they held, thousands of Bitcoin, they're millionaires now. So you could look at it that way. But as as you keep going with more and more money, what happens is that the market size, you end up pushing it. So if I tried to sell 5 million worth of Bitcoin in here in one shot, it would probably cause the market to dip. And I don't know how far it would dip, but it would probably cause the market to dip. And so, that is, that is a concern. And it really is, I'd call it fantastical thinking to think that we could get to that 3-year point and be at like 5.3 million. But what the hell? Why not make that a goal to go for? I mean, my personal plan for this after this challenge is that if I do well on this, then why not put more money into it? Because I can actually make more. If I have more, I can make more. So if you start with 1,000, then the number increases exponentially. So you just add another zero behind it. Okay, so now I built this spreadsheet, and all of you can use this. You just make a copy of it. You just go to File, and then let's see here. Oh, doesn't have a make a copy function. Oh, because I'm not logged in on this account. Okay, so you just go to make a copy and you save it to your own Google Drive. And then you can edit it however you want. So, okay. Now I filled in some numbers here, and what I've been doing is just every couple of hours I've been putting in some numbers just so that it gets kind of this flow going here. And so I'm gonna do a tabulation of everything that I've got right now, and we'll see with the way the market is how this works out. So with Bitcoin on hand, I currently have 0.061. And, I can't edit that one. Oh, wait, hold on here. So, 0.061. And then the current price for it is 55.89.99. Okay. And then Ethereum here, I've got 0.1 on hand. Oops. Don't click on that one. Click on this one. Oops. Man, I'm clumsy with my typing today. Okay, 0.1, and it is currently at 319.87. Okay, and then Litecoin, I've got, how much have I got here? Let me refresh this other screen I've got here. In Litecoin, let's see here. Okay, cancel that. Yeah, missed that buy opportunity. Okay, so in Litecoin, I've got 1.21. So 1.21, and it is currently at 60.27. And then in dollars, I have 77.30. Okay, so now what it's done is it says I have a cash value of 523 and 20 cents based off of all this information that I put in. And it put it into the next day here. And so basically we're going to be able to enter this stuff in daily, and we're going to see what kind of percentages we make. And we're going to show our value against the 1% increase per day. and take it up there. So it shows that I've gone down, 1/17%, lost 91 cents. So that basically, there's fluctuations in the market. And so, since I've got some Litecoin and the value has gone down, basically if I were to, this is the numbers if I cash out right now type of thing. So that's how that's working. Okay. And I have now 1% of a coin, and I bought it at 60.27. So we're going to sell it at 61.27 and place that order in there. Now that is more than 1%, but if I keep buying a whole bunch of those, and I can do it once. So like those of you who are like going to your day job and you're working your ass off all day, you can make a buy and sell trade, set it up in the morning, and then when you get back home, and you can do a few in the evening. So, and you can be a weekend warrior. So anyway, that is kind of the philosophy on that. Now, I see a bunch of you talking about the information about Bitcoin and forks coming up. There are 2 forks that are going to happen in this challenge. And so those 2 forks, one happens on the 25th. Today is the 17th. And that is for Bitcoin Gold, which is a form of Bitcoin that can be mined off of GPUs instead of ASICs miners. ASICs miners are basically a CPU type miner, and Bitcoin Gold will be GPU based, kind of like Ethereum is done right now, Zcash, and many others. So they are distributing this. They're making this change so that it's not a small group of companies that has all these big mining machines that are making all the money. And they are, in fact, going to redistribute the processing power on all of this to all of us, because GPUs are fairly easy to get. Because if you tried to CPU mine off of your computer, you'll waste money. It doesn't make enough money. So anyway, okay, the fees per transaction. So if you use limit orders to buy and sell, which is where you put it in and you let it sit, like this one I did, where I put in this 1% of a Litecoin at 61.27. So when the market goes back up, it'll hit that, and I don't pay any fees on that. But if you do market and you do buy here, I could buy with right now for full amount here or however much I want to spend, and it will spend this instantly, and then it will charge me. So here's some transactions I did where it did charge me. Ooh, look at that. Look at that shoot up right there. Maybe we're going to sell this right now. So in practice, basically, at doing it 1%, I can do, I don't know, a ton of these. I could do, 100 and some odd buys and sells, and it'd be a lot of work. But the theory is the same. So if you did it with a higher dollar amount, like a 1/10 of a coin, it'd be 10 times the profit. Instead of 1 cent, you're going to make 10 cents or whatever. So yeah, and if you do it with a whole coin, the buy and sell would have been $1 difference, and I wouldn't be paying any fees. So, and the goal here is not to get greedy and do dumb stuff, because you can buy too high and then be forced to sell really high. And let me show you an example of that. Is that these 2 purchases that I have here for Ethereum, which was together they make 1/10 of an Ethereum, so it's worth about $30. And I purchased them up in the $340 range. So now I'm waiting for it to hit 346, and I either got to wait until that happens, which right now, I don't know. I mean, it happened here that everything went ape shit, but you know, we're heading back up to that. So, but and here it actually got just below. I had another one that was for sale at like 345 something, and that one sold, but these 346 ones didn't. And so it's a matter of waiting for the market to come back. And these are a day old, so what do? I either sit and wait, and now I, just wait for these to sell, or I cancel them, and then I sell it lower. I take a loss, but then I get the money active again, so I can start, doing stuff over and over again. And the theory being that if I can take, seven out of 10 trades to make money on them, and I, lose some money on these, then maybe I just need to do 5 trades of making money, and I'm back in the money. That's some other math that like this spreadsheet that I made doesn't really account for, and it doesn't advise you on that. So, this is just basically a daily tracking so that we can see whether or not we're doing good. Now, in this example sheet, obviously this is more than $100. This is what I've got in GDAX right now. And, but I will be using the tab here that is, that will be my stuff that you will be able to see on the URL for this. So in YouTube, there is a link in the description for it. And in Twitch, there's a link for it. So, okay, getting back to the Bitcoin forks that are coming up. The Bitcoin forks. So there's one happening on the 25th, and you need to have your money, your Bitcoin, offline in a private wallet. I've got to say that the whole private wallet stuff, I haven't got it all the way figured out yet. Because part of doing this challenge is I am intentionally just diving in. I don't know everything about this. I know a lot about cryptocurrency, and I know I've done a lot of mining, and I'm doing that successfully, and I'm making money at that every day. And I know a lot about virtual currencies because I've been dealing with virtual currencies for 20 years. So, when it comes to some of this other stuff, though, like, how to, do wallet stuff and everything, I'm a little iffy on that. I've got a couple of wallets, but there's certain ways that you want to be for when you have for these forks, because when a currency forks, what it does is you have one currency here. Okay, and not all the time, but sometimes it forks into two. And so it takes from the base here and it starts going 2 different directions. And the value can split between them, or this one can maintain its value and this one have almost no value, or they can both be equal value or whatever. It's really hard to say. And I think a lot of splits happen, with little to no notice. So anyway, the split is happening on the 25th, and you've got to have your money out of GDAX. And Coinbase, they have not said anything about supporting Bitcoin Gold. They have said that they're going to support SegWit, which is happening in November. It's another split. And so Bitcoin Gold is a friendly split. And because it's I don't know if it's the Bitcoin Foundation or somebody else that's doing this, but they want the value and the generation of all the transactions and everything to be more distributed and not so compiled with with so few people. And then and so this one's considered friendly. The SegWit one, though, is others. It's not so friendly, and they're considering themselves to be upset with how Bitcoin is going, and so they're going off in their own vein. And there's some scary stuff about that one as well. So it could actually start a war in the market. It could do really well on its own, or it could flop. It's just so hard to say. So Coinbase has said that they will support the SegWit split. And so when that splits, I don't know if you'll have your money in GDAX, probably not, but you might want to transfer it over to Coinbase and just leave it there. And you may want to put it in the vault in Coinbase so that it is away, safe, and so when the split happens, they say that they're going to do the private key fork for you. But they've not said that for Bitcoin Gold. And there's a lot of risk to entering back into the system with gold, or with after a split and everything. And there's frankly a bunch of stuff that I don't know. And so I'm going to have my Bitcoin that's extra, that's not in the challenge. I'm going to have it offline. But some of you in this challenge may say, aha, this is my ticket to beat you all. Because if you just were to buy $100 worth of Bitcoin and hold it, and, Bitcoin has gone up, pretty incredible, in the last month, you're going to get over your 1% a day probably if you just buy and hold. That's what I suspect. I don't know that, but I suspect that. And so, that could be it. And then if you're holding off and you go through these splits or these forks, then whatever value at the end of the 30 days that these forks have as well, actually, in all reality, should be part of your competitive total. And why not? So the spreadsheet that I made may not even figure out for that. And if you're only dealing in Bitcoin, you could change that to like Bitcoin Gold and SegWit or whatever. It doesn't matter. But yeah, so yeah, and Darium says, big thing to read about is the opt-in protection with the fork. They didn't go for strong protection. And so, yes, this is all things that have to be figured out. This definitely has to be figured out. There are a couple of things. Okay, so there's a ton of conspiracy theory stuff with these things. And the conspiracy theory stuff says shit like, well, if you use your private key to cash in back on Bitcoin, and then you go over to the Bitcoin Gold network to redeem your value over there as well, then they already know your private key on this other one, and so they're unscrupulous and they go and grab your Bitcoin Gold with your private key on the other one before you get there to do it. So, that's a concern. The other big conspiracy theory that I keep seeing over and over again is that, when you are working in these markets here, and that like the Coinbase guys who own GDAX or operate GDAX, that they are doing things to influence the market with their own currency and everything. And so they're creating a Ponzi scheme, or they're creating whatever else. The answer is yes, deal with it. Because they have the power to do that. And why wouldn't they be trading their own currency on their own platform? Why wouldn't they? I mean, they can go do it on somebody else's. I don't think there's anything unethical about it. But, because all of this is open source. If you have the knowledge, can go build a marketplace like this and start doing transactions for other people. You can do it too. So, Anyway, okay. Um, let's see. Cosmo, do you see any difference between speculating on Forex and the crypto market? Not much difference at all. If you pay attention to the news, and the news basically, there are a lot of things. Okay, so one of the rumors recently that why they're saying that Bitcoin's been going up is because Amazon is going to start accepting Bitcoin, which would be really huge. But Amazon has said, well, we've not announced anything like that. And and so the speculation is that when that was announced, that you should have bought some Bitcoin right then, because then over the next couple of days, as the speculation went up, the value went up, and then you could sell and make some profit there. And then after Amazon says, well, no, not really, the market goes down again, and then you buy again. So, that is one of the things. The other thing is that there a is that we have these two splits coming up in the next 30 days with Bitcoin. And people are banking on the fact that they're going to have some sort of value on the forks. I mean forks. When I say a split, just think that fork. It's the same thing. They just use the terminology fork. I call it a split. They call it a fork. Whatever. So anyway, this is also speculation, and the more hype there gets about it, the more money there is to be made. And so, yes, pay attention to all of that. And so, is margin trading allowed? You know what? They have margin trading. See that button up there? There is a button for it. They currently have it turned off. Poloniex, which is another exchange, I believe, has. I believe that they do have it enabled. So margin trading is allowed. I don't care how you guys do it. Well, actually, isn't margin trading where you get a loan and then you use that loan money to do it? I would suggest not. I would suggest not getting any loan stuff for this. You really need to be able to prove to yourself that you can do this. So, and if you have more in there than, what you, than the $100, we're looking at percentages. So, I know that there's a few of you that have decided that you're putting in more than the $100. Myself, now you see that I have 500 and some odd dollars in play here. This will be $100 at hour one on Friday. And so I will be taking all of my stuff and I'll put it on a different exchange, or I'll just put it in storage or whatever. So I will have $100 cash, and that is what I will start out with. And so my numbers here, which is this will be my sheet right here. The 20th is start day. It'll be $100, and that's what my entry is for the day, $100. The next day is when we'll start to see profits or losses, and we'll just go from there. So anyway, that is the plan. Now let's take a look at the market as it is right now. So I did this right here, and I'm just entering these in so that you can just see what this looks like when it's filled out. And so, okay, so in Bitcoin, I have 0.061, and it is worth currently 55.75 and 19 cents. I think it's fallen. And then Ethereum, I have 0.1. And it is worth 320 and 17 cents. Okay, and then Litecoin, I have 1.22. Okay, 1.22. And it looks like I made a purchase while I was talking. And it is currently worth 60 and 17 cents. And then in cash, I have 77.30. All right, so there we go. All the numbers entered in there. And I'm at 522 where I was at 523. I'll go up here and look. And so I'm down by 0.07%, 39 cents. So now, at the same point, if the market on Bitcoin, since I'm holding some Bitcoin, if Bitcoin skyrockets back up again, which it's really straining right here, but if it skyrockets back up again, then I'm going to show profit. So this is one thing. You only actually have as much as when you cash out, if that makes sense, or when you spend. So if you're going to go someplace and you're going to spend the money, then you get whatever value you had right then and there. But if you are not going to spend it and you're going to cash out, it's not until you change it back into euros or dollars. So, and speaking of euros and dollars, for those of you, there's two templates here. There's a USD template and then there's a Euro template. And just to make it easy for those of you who are participating, you can change the currency type to whatever if you need to. Oh, and I had some test numbers in here. So, yeah, I had some test numbers in there. I'll have to remove those out. All right. So we're not really doing short selling or anything like that as well. So the whole theory is buying low, selling higher. Doesn't have to be huge, but buying low, selling higher. So, True says that I should check out Lomocoin. Okay, so it's kind of like Pokemon Go. Oh goodness, yeah. There are some. There's another currency that's based on Ethereum that is for the video game sports leagues that was announced yesterday as well. So there's all kinds. I'm sticking with, for this challenge here, I'm sticking with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin, just because I want to use GJAX for the challenge. And so that is my thought. So, and what about taxes when you cash out? You know what? You're going to have to check with your tax people as to whether or not you have to pay tax on earnings that you've not deposited. Because does your government consider cryptocurrency to be real money? If they don't, they shouldn't tax you on it until you turn it into cash, until you sell it. So, but it's really, you got to figure that out for yourself. The answer for me is that when I do my taxes, I will follow whatever advice my CPA has on that. And the other thing is that January 1st, since it'll be a new day, first thing in the morning, I will take an accounting of the cash and the currency and the current values, kind of like on the spreadsheet, so that I know what their current numbers are, so that if I do have to pay taxes on it, then I've got a record of how much it was at that point. So, and if you're paying taxes on it without having cashed it out, and then you should get credits for losses the next year if you take losses on it and haven't cashed out, I would think. That's general business world. So, yeah. All right. So, oh, and I see the comment there. I just can't wrap my head around something that doesn't exist or isn't regulated worth in the real world. My brain doesn't comprehend it. This is very, very foreign. But think of it this way. How many of you have played World of Warcraft? Me. How many of you have ever thought about whether or not you would say buy gold in the game or sell it? I mean, come on, we've all thought about it. Is it a violation of the terms of service? Is it a violation of the rules? But, we've thought about these things. And so think of this as a market for trading currency in a video game, and how it can have a cash value that some people are willing to pay for it and some people are willing to sell for the cash. And so if you think about it in that regard, then it makes it a little bit easier, because that essentially is an intangible currency that you can't hold in these video games. And but it does have value to some other people as long as you find those people and they're willing to pay you for it and trust that you're going to deliver it to them, or vice versa. It is all the same thing. So that is kind of the deal on that. Memon says Coinbase does not provide 109 forms. Okay, so definitely if you're cashing out, you probably have to pay on that. And so let me tell you a little bit about my plan. My plan is that if I do this successfully, then I'm going to put a whole bunch more money in. And am I an expert in this stuff right now? No. Do I know business? Yes. So I've been self-employed pretty much for the last 20 years. I'm an entrepreneur, and I know buying low, selling high. That one is easy. And I know all the other business aspects of, building up wealth and using money to make money. So, does that, how does that translate into this? Well, it translates into this, that if I can do it with $100, then I can do it with 1,000, or I can do it with 10,000, or I can do it with 100,000. So, that is my thought. I originally got into this because we're going to start accepting Bitcoin in our store, but that is not what I've known about the cryptocurrencies for a very long time. So, Official Fire Live, yes, I saw that you resubbed. I rewarded everybody, and there is no Duke for this show. So, others of you that have subs that you're waiting to bark out and you want all the attention and glory, wait until tomorrow's show. So, yeah, so Legendary says, well, technically, if you say paper money has value, then says the government, then won't cryptocurrency have value? It does kind of. It's kind of the same thing. Yeah. So receiving Bitcoin in the store, just built a rig in that last month. Yeah. So we'll be I'll announce to everybody once we've got that going. So okay, let's do a few trades. And so we're starting on Friday. Friday is going to be a video. It's not going to be a live show. I have another big show that day. So I will publish a video in the morning kicking it off. And we are going to have another live show like this, another Q&A on Thursday for a couple of hours. Is Marquee Gold an altcoin yet? No. So, yeah. Okay, so let's do a few trades here. And let's do it in Litecoin. So Litecoin is sitting at $60 and $60.10. And let's see here. Let me refresh this. Oh, I don't have a balance there. There is sometimes where you show balances here. And when you're taking your accounting, it's good to refresh the screen because these don't always update right. While as this stuff all seems to update well, sometimes the other stuff doesn't. So, yeah. Okay. So, all right. Dragon coin, right. Yeah, I'm not so interested in trying to make my own coin. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not so interested in that. I mean, we have currency in the Twitch channel, but that's more of I'd call it a loyalty coin, or a fun coin, meta coin, game coin, something like that, not having any cash value. So okay, so $60.10. Let's see here. Let's go 0.05 on each one of these. And then 60, 10, and so that gives us a $3 buy, which means that we can do like 20 of them. All right. So, okay, so 60, 10. Okay, now I'm going to buy again 0.05 and 60. Oh, I just bought even. Okay, so 0.05 and 59.90. I'm just going down in 10-cent increments. 0.05 and 59.80. And I'm creating a spread here. So I'll explain what I'm doing here in just a second here. Get a couple more of these in. Actually, let's see here. And what was the last one? 59. Okay, so what I've done is I put in some buy orders here, and one of them already filled. The 60-10 already filled. So now I have the balance up there. It's 5% of a coin. And then I have all of these here that that I've put in. So if it drops a little bit more, down to $60 even, that one will buy. And 59.90, 59.80, 70, 60, 50. Could do, I have plenty of funds to keep going on down further, all the way down to, you know, probably 55 or something like that. And so then if the market takes a big dip, I'm going to get all these purchases. Now, I believe that today, based on the kind of the flow of things today, I believe that it might hit this amount again today. So 61.88, or it actually hit just almost 62. And so if we go down just a little bit, you know, we have, you know, more time here that, you know, 61, 69 that it hit. So if I bought right here at this 60 and 10, now I can take that 0.05 and I'm going to put it at 61 and 10, which is basically a dollar increment up. It's less than 2%. It's like 1.7% or 1.8%. And I'm looking to make 1% a day, putting this sell order up. And so now the sell order sits right down here. I also have some other sell orders here, which these ones, well, like this one's from 2 days ago and these are from a day ago. And so, you know, they're just waiting because I bought them in the 64 range and in the 66 range. But if I were to keep all of the buy amounts smaller, which these were 1/10 of a coin, this was a whole coin. If I keep the buy amounts smaller, then it gives me plenty of room to play. And so as the market goes up and down within this area here, if it has a dollar spread, or at least a 1% spread, because I could just add, when I buy at 60, I could just add 60 cents to it, and that would be a 1%. And I could play right in the 1% range, and then, you know, I just keep doing this as it rocks back and forth. You don't need to make a whole bunch per. You can make 60 cents per transaction and do it, you know, 10 times, and all of a sudden you've made $6. If you do that off of your $100 in, you've made 6% for the day. So, you know, it's, yeah, that's what it is. Okay, let's see here. So, happen to have a customer at the same time. I am doing customer service today as well. So, you know, a little double duty. Okay. It's all good. Already taken care of. All right. So, let's see here. To trade effectively, you need to research the coin. This is just blind gambling. Why not use a casino? Hey, Jamie. You know, it's a very simplistic look at doing this. And before I recommended this to anyone, I found that it works for me. And as long as it works for me, that's great. So, with it being news driven or whatnot, yes, we've talked about that. And we've talked about how the speculation causes things to rise, or the speculation of fear causes things to drop. So, and actually, we've seen that many times in the last couple of months. So, anyway, yes, I agree. And you know what? There's no 100% right way, no 100% wrong way, unless you're losing money and you continue to lose money. So if you continue to lose money, you're doing it the wrong way. If you continue to make money, I don't care if you just throwing darts at a wall and you're hitting things that tells you what orders you put in, and then you're making money, then continue doing that until it doesn't work anymore. And as you make this money, I think it's very wise to cash out some of your profits so that you do not have everything in there, so that if the market goes kaput and you lose everything, that you still have all this profit. And that profit should exceed anything that you put in the beginning and should have a lot of profit on top of it. So that is my thought on it. And so there is a point where you start pulling money out. What point that is up to you. But there is a point where you start pulling money out, and I think it's important to do that. So, okay, let's see here. Let's say you have $100 in Bitcoin. Is there a single vendor that I purchase through and sell back in, let's say, 6 months if I gain a profit off the initial 100? Yes, so you can do that through Coinbase. There's a link underneath the video. And so, yeah, you can do that there. And if you use that link, they'll give you a bonus $10 worth of Bitcoin. They also give me a bonus $10 worth of Bitcoin for referring you. So that's very upfront. But I do not profit anyway from any of this, other than if there's ads playing on the YouTube videos or whatnot. Yeah, I don't. The money that you guys put in does not go to me. It's all yours. So, okay. So Night Scott, yes. So he says he's using something called Plus 500, and he's going to try doing this. So, yeah, there are a bunch of different exchanges out there and a bunch of different trading platforms. You can use whatever you're comfortable with. Some of them don't work in some countries. Others do work in some countries, but not others. So you got to figure out what works for you. For the United States, Coinbase and GDAX, and also for most of Europe. Maybe not all of it, but most of it. So it also works in Australia, except you can't cash out, which is interesting. But you have your Bitcoin, you just trade it to another exchange that will cash it out for Australian dollars. So, but yeah, okay. So I personally really like the way GDAX looks, but TradingView is another place where you can view all of this stuff, and it has much better tools and abilities for more complex looks at all of this. So, okay, I have made a couple more purchases here. So in this flow here of stuff, let's see here. So I bought again at 60. So we're going to sell 0.05 at 61. Oh, I just made another purchase. So I'm just doing $1 in between. And then 0.05 at 59.90. And so we're going to go 60.90 and place that sell order. You can see them starting to appear here. They're these little dots. And then I got 59.80. So 0.05 is what each one of these are. And so 59.80 would be 60.80 for the way I'm doing it. Okay, there we go. So there's those sell orders. And so they're just sitting up there. Okay. Where's the fees? There's no fees when you place the limits, the limit orders. So, yeah. What wallet do I use? Currently, everything is in GDAX and Coinbase. So for an offline wallet, I have not figured that out yet. So I'll probably be doing a paper wallet for the forks. So, and after I figure that out, I'll make a video out on that and share it with you. So, but I have not figured it out yet. I probably need to do that today or tomorrow, though. So, am I using 2FA? You're required to use 2FA on all this stuff. You mean secondary authentication, right? Is that what you mean by that, 2FA? So, yes, and none of this stuff is backed up by any government stuff. If they get hacked or whatnot, you lose your money. I'm serious. So, you gotta protect yourself. This is the wild, wild west of money. This is something completely different. So, yeah. Oh, we got another one. 59.7. Okay, so 0.05 and 60.7. So place that sell order. And then it's almost about to hit this other one. I should put in a few more buy orders. So 59.5, let's see here. 0.05, 59.4, 0.05, 59.3, 0.05, 59.2, 0.05, 59.1, 59. Yep, look at that. These are buying. So, and I could just wait until it dips really low and then start doing stuff, but let's see here. 58.8. But I'm doing this in little increments so that I can make sure and sell on the swings as it goes back and forth. So, it doesn't matter what price you buy at as long as you sell higher. Just remember that. You don't have to wait for the market to dip. If you wait for the market to dip, you have better chances of selling your stuff for higher. But and I would just never buy at the very top. But somewhere in between, I'm comfortable with it. So, and that's just me, you know, but I'm comfortable with it. So 58.6. Oops. And I'll do one more. All right. So I got a bunch of buys in here. And then it looks like I made another purchase at 59.6. So we're going to sell that. Oh, I just got another one too. 59.5. All right. Did I just get another one as well? Oh, yeah. It's really going down. All right. Let's do some more buys while this is dropping. So 58.5, 58.4, and 58.3, 58.2, Now, this is kind of demonstration. Sitting and putting in all of these is tedious as all get out. So you're going to figure out what works well for you. So 58.1. All right, now I have $15 left. And let's see here. 58.1. Let's just put that all the way down at 57. Okay, and that takes up almost all of it. It's a quarter of a Litecoin. 57. I may kill that buy order later. So, okay, I have a whole bunch of these that were filled. I'm going to refresh the screen. 99 cents left now. But I have 0.2 Litecoin that I purchased. And so that's 4 of them. So the last 4 of these here. So I'm going to sell at 60.6. Place that sell order, and then 60.5. Just bought another one too. Okay. And then 60.4. $60.3. 60.2. All right. So I got half a coin left in there. I missed one of them somewhere. 60.1. All right. Oops. Sell. Yeah. All right. So got all these sell orders in here. Still have some buy orders in here. I've got no money left. I've got all of these are open and just waiting. And the market's going to go somewhere. If it continues to go down, I'll just end up buying some more buys. And then as it comes back up, it'll be more sells. So, and I'm very confident that that it'll stay in this range here, no problem. It's been going down, on this trend here, but overall it's up. So we're going down into a dip. My logic says that it's going to go up again, but there's obviously no guarantee of that. So, all right. You can join with $10. It's just that you're going to be limited to doing Litecoin only for the most part at like 1% trades, but you can do it. So it's all about on this. It's all about the percentages, and so if you change this amount in the spreadsheet to be $10, it will tell you by the end of the challenge that you should have $13.34. So basically, it's all about the percentages and how well you do with that. If you want to do it with $10, fine. If you're going to do it with $1,000, I don't recommend it, but it's up to you. If you want to do $10,000, I seriously don't recommend it, but it's up to you. So, yeah. Why LTC? Because it's cheap right now and it has good movement up and down. So, Bitcoin, the cheapest you can get into it is a $55.62 buy at the moment, because the least you can buy on GDAX at least is 1%. And so 1% of that would be $55.62. So, Darium, you think I'm mocking you? Aw, deal with it. I wasn't, but deal with it anyway. Yes, if you can only get started with $10, go ahead and do it. So there might be a small fee for funding it. in the first place. But once you get past that, you'll be good. So, and when you transfer between Coinbase and GDAX, there's no fees. They don't charge you anything fees back and forth that way. All right. JJ, you're going to drop 10K in there? Oh. Oh, and you wanted to talk to me about a raise? Yeah. So, you want me to deposit you want me to send you your paycheck in Bitcoin? Maybe that could be arranged as soon as we're accepting Bitcoin in the store, which won't be too long from now. So, I do have one sell order in here. It's priced really high at $59.91. That does not mean that I paid up in that range for it. I actually paid in the range of, I don't know, what is it? Well, it's kind of spread across a couple things, but yeah, I bought some here at 46 and at 44, 43. So I have some older transactions here. And I've been buying pretty much, for the most part, been just buying and holding Bitcoin because it's been going up pretty good on its own. So I do have a little bit that I purchased here at 57.49 or so, about 57.50. And so obviously it's lower than that right now. But I don't think I'm upside down at all in the whole, purchase of this. Because some of it I bought at 43.50 and such. So that's a much different, that's a huge spread. All right, let's look at Ethereum. And Ethereum is continuing to go down. Wow. So Ethereum has split yesterday, and there's been some contention about it. I read a few things this morning, and I don't know how it's going. They're talking about people being upset about the split, and a couple of other organizations saying that they're going to fork and stuff like this, and I really don't know. So, yeah, I got this right here. I paid much more for it. It's worth $30 worth. If I dumped out right now, instead of 33 that I paid for it, I'd get about 31. And if I can make in the Litecoin stuff here, I've been doing good. I think that I've made most of my profit in Litecoin, and so, yeah, I think I've made most of my profit in Litecoin. So, yeah. Is there a fee when you transfer from Coinbase to your bank account? Yes, they do have some fees. So you got to be prepared for that. If you're funding right away with a credit card, it's 4%. So, and it'll show you the fees whenever you buy in. It will show you the fees. So be prepared for that on getting your money into play, that there's going to be a percentage you're going to have to pay. And then one of the things I'll be doing is figuring out the best ways to get your money out, to cash out with the lowest amount of fees. So I don't know exactly how that is going to be, but there maybe you can only trade crypto to crypto. Oh, yeah. So there'll be government. Okay, so JJ, who's in Canada, says GDAC doesn't work. He tried to hook it up, but it only trade crypto to crypto. And so he's going to try some other thing that probably Canada has Canadian support, and then you can transfer it in. Because in Coinbase, you can bring up your address and everything, and you can transfer to there. Now, I don't know if there's going to be a charge on one side or another for transferring it in. So, yeah, there are some points where you do have to pay some percentages. And that's another thing about the forks coming up with Bitcoin is that they want to try and reduce control, which will make it a bit easier. There might be more places that support these after this, which will bring the fees down lower. So, yeah, and in fact, I know that looking at like um, looking at like PayPal and stuff, and how we're going to be able to accept Bitcoin in our store, we could really charge like a 2%. But then PayPal has fees for receiving. So I don't know. Yeah. All ways you look at it. Um, Full auto. No, everything is not back to normal after the hurricane. So we've got a roof redone, got a new roof on. But Tuesday, they're ripping out walls in 2 rooms and a ceiling in another room. So I'll have a bunch of construction going on. So in your initial investment, so what I did when I invested in put my money in Coinbase, it told me how much money I was going to have left over. And which, by the way, to get it more instant, you have to buy like currency. So you'd buy like Bitcoin or something right now. And so you make your transaction when it looks like an appropriate buy time. Because if you're just transferring dollars in, it takes a hell of a lot longer, and it has to be via bank. And 7 days or whatever is what it can take, and so you'll miss the beginning of the challenge. So, but if you use a credit card, it'll cost you like 4%, and you could buy $100 worth of Bitcoin or whatnot. So, yeah, and keeping track of all trades. Now, that's a really interesting question because I would love to keep track of all my trades in here and know, how well I'm doing. So, and I'd love to have a live percentage that says you are up today and you have good velocity, or you're down today, quit screwing up. But I haven't seen anything like that. The logs here in GDAX can be exported. They also have an API. Now, the API to use it, it costs you per transaction, but maybe that works, So we do have the form here, which I've built for this challenge, and basically you enter it once a day, and it doesn't matter what time of day, whatnot, and just last day when you cash out, or you just do your final tabulation, it'll tell you what it's worth. And if you're above $133.45 in value in this, you win. So, because that's the goal, to make 1% a day. Some of you are going to do really well and you make 10% the first day. Imagine what would happen if you made 10% a day. It makes me think. So, yeah, imagine what would happen if you made 10% a day. And let's see here, just for fun. I am going to, I'm going to change this over to my sheet here. And so, let's see here, I'm going to edit this. So this will be 10%. So 100, and then this will be equals N6 times 1.1. Okay, so that's 110. And then let's take this down. Actually, let's just go the whole way. So Bitstamp is a marketplace. Yes, okay, so Bitstamp has that. Okay. All right, let's look at this. If we do 10% a day, then by day 30, you could change that $100 into $1,586. Now, is 10% a day achievable? I don't know. So, but, if you look at it and you go out to day 60, 2 months in a row, at 10% a day, you're at $27,000. So, you know, isn't that, I mean, that's really, I'd call it fantastical thinking. If we go all the way out to a year at 10% a day, yeah, we're not making this. This is what is this number? I mean, 116 million. So, yeah, I don't think that that's obtainable because everybody would do it if they could. So, yeah, yeah. So the trade size here, you can see here there are 50 coins at 59.33 attempting to be purchased. Now there's 178. People are piling in right here at this price. There are people who just use the market stuff, buy and sell, and they just take the fees every time. 1% growth per day is amazing. Yes, it is. It is. And I've been doing it. So that's why I think it's possible. And it may be partly to do with the fantastic rise in cryptocurrency values. So is it sustainable? Well, as long as there's this mania, maybe. But beyond that, is it sustainable? It's really hard to say. So, yeah. So, my wife will be doing this challenge as well. There's a tab for her as well. And you're able to take that, you're able to take this and you can save it to your own Google Drive and then follow along with us and do your best in it. So, okay, so this is dipped down. It started coming back up. It doesn't mean that it's going to continue to come up. It could flatline for a bit. It could go down a bit more. It's really hard to say. Let me refresh this and see if there's been any transactions I'm not aware of. Nope. Still waiting. So, yes, if you would have invested in Bitcoin a year ago, you'd have had 406% growth. So your $100 would be $406 or whatever. hmm So the part of why this works too is because it's volatile, because it is so volatile going up and down, and I'm able to play in this dollar range really easy. So yeah. So what kind of coins do I have already? I have Bitcoin, Ether, and Litecoin at the moment. Oh, and I also have some Zcash. So Zcash I've been mining. So I've been mining Zcash for the last couple of months. So, and that's part of the money that I funded in here. I transferred it over into Bitcoins. So, yeah. Okay. So it's kind of what moving averages am I using? I don't know if I understand the question. I am not an expert in this stuff. I am just the kind of person that tests things, and when I make money, I test more, and then I start refining, and I make more money until the money stops. So, the moving average is 5 minutes. Yeah, I'm on a 5 minute candle size. So, yep. Like your screen to look the same as mine. Yeah, so you can use, and there's multiple platforms you can use. It doesn't have to be GDAX or anything. You can use whatever you want that makes sense for you. And so that is my recommendation. You do what works for you. So, and if my advice, if you deem it to be bad, do what you think is right. So I don't claim to be the end all. Um, so, oh, you like how my shirt is the same color as the graph? That wasn't planned. So, okay, so Elena, you got your Coinbase set up and 100 bones in there. What else do you need to do? Then you can just deposit your, and I assume you mean 100 bucks. You just deposit here in GDAX. You go to gdax.com, hit deposit, pull it from your Coinbase account, and it'll deposit 100 bucks in here. And then Friday, we start trading. So I'll be resetting all of my holdings to 100 bucks. And so Friday morning, with 100 bucks in hand, I start working on it. So, and I will probably I might end up doing 2 videos on Friday or something. I don't know. So we'll see. But yeah. All right. So this is kind of sitting in this area now, not having much movement. I got stuff on both sides. No matter where it moves, I'll either buy it some more or I'll sell some more. And also, if you notice, I have holdings in 3 different coins. So I've got Bitcoin, I've got some Ethereum, I've got some Litecoin. I wouldn't necessarily put it all in one place, but at 100 bucks, you don't have much choice for Bitcoin, because at the best you can buy 1% of a coin and then you're stuck with it. But at the same time, like I was saying, some people may look at this as that, well, you know, the way Bitcoin's been rising, I just buy $100 worth of Bitcoin and I just sit tight, see what happens, because you may win at you know that you know, there's multiple right methods. So, all right, looks like we got some volume starting to happen. Got some movement. You can also watch on the sides here of how much these, you know, sells are and the buys, and if they're all low numbers, you'll get a lot of volatility either way, including you can end up with a spread on here of a couple of dollars, and the dial can move just bam. So right here, this is what I think something like that happened here. I mean, it's got a lot of volume here, but I mean, it shot up and then back down again, and it was pretty quick. So yeah, there is. I did read an article of a guy who claims to be and I don't remember his name. I apologize. He claims to be the very first journalist to ever write about Bitcoin, and he is still writing about Bitcoin, and he is predicting that Bitcoin before the end of the year will hit $46,000 or at least 40-some thousand dollars. It was 40-some thousand dollars by the end of the year. And if that's the case, I mean, whew, man, that is out of this world. So, no, I don't mean 6,000. I mean 40-some thousand. So, 6,000 by the end of the year, I think, and I've heard other people say that, no problem. No problem whatsoever. 6,000 by the end of the month, I think no problem whatsoever. So I think that's going to happen. That's just what I think. You know, doesn't mean I'm right. It's just what I think. So, yes, this is on YouTube on my Marky Dragon channel as well. So you'll be able to watch this later if you're missing part of it. I do not do stock trading. No, never have. I do own stock in a couple of companies, but it's because I work with them. But so I actually, Torment says it'll breach 6,000 after the addition of Bitcoin Gold. I actually think it'll happen before that. So, but that's my guess. And I have no history to be able to refer to say I'm right this percentage of time or anything. So, yeah. All right. So this is going up. We're about to start making sales here, folks. Woohoo! Yep, $60.10 is when I'll start making the first ones. You see here, this is how much skin I have in the game right here. So when you see those the my size numbers in there, so there is 21.65 coin to be sold in there, and I have 5% of a coin sitting in that. So more wise trading Bitcoin or in stocks? I think Bitcoin, but that's just me. I'm not a financial advisor. You have to kind of know that what's right for you. So okay. So yeah, we're about to start selling. Maybe it could just level off right here or whatnot. And a lot of times I'll set these up and then I'll check in an hour and then I'll put up the sell orders. And if I bought lower and it's already gone up higher than where I would have sold at, then I just put it just a little bit higher than where it is at the time, and I end up making extra profit. So that's how I do it. Yeah. And the stock trading versus virtual currency trading versus cryptocurrency trading. Stock trading, probably there is less worry of hacks and losses from nefarious type stuff, but the market is still volatile. Hello, Eric. So it's easier to make huge gains from this, folks. I'm just saying that that in the last 3 weeks or so that I've been doing this, that I mean, I have been making more than 1% a day, and so I put a little bit more money in, and so I don't know how much I've made. We're going to find out over this challenge. When we see the how it comes up on the sheets. We'll see how that plays out. But currently, yeah, I am pretty sure I've been making over 1% a day, and I'm about to prove it. So, yeah. There's also some stuff about in the laws, and I don't know all the laws about this, but I'm not a financial advisor at all. So take whatever I say with a grain of salt. And I'm just showing you what I'm doing. And but there are some laws about talking about investments and currencies and all of this stuff. And yeah, so I'm just open and honest. I'm not a professional. I'm just doing this, and it's just going to be whatever it's going to be. So, yeah. Do I ever trade coins to coins? Yes. Now here's how that happens. So like right now, I've got a bunch of stuff here in Litecoin, and let's say that that I had cashed out some of them, or I'd sold some of them, so I have a balance here in my dollars, and I'm over here on Bitcoin, and I realize that Bitcoin dropped to like 4,500 or something like that, and I might just hit buy immediately and buy some, knowing that the current pattern on this says that it's going to go back up. So that is, and I have. So I have sold a little bit of Bitcoin. I bought a little bit Bitcoin. I mean, really, so back here I bought some at 43, 33, and then I didn't know what I was doing, and I sold some. I sold that at just a little bit of a loss. And then I bought some more at 43 and at 43.50, 43.50, 43.50. And then I sold it at 44.06. So I made some profit on there. Then I bought some more at No, I sold some more. Let's see, I bought some more at 44.06. Yeah, and I'm dyslexic, and I get backwards so easy on the buy and sell with the colors here and everything. You know, green to me means sell. I don't know about you guys, but green to me means sell and not buy. And that's just the way my brain works. And so I look at these and I get confused. But I have made some money on this, and I have transferred it over and played with, I've done a bunch of buying and selling in Ether, a ton of it. And so I've made money in this area as well. But I've got a couple of them sitting right here, which, you know, so far, there's only been a couple of times where I've dumped out of something because I wanted to use it someplace else. Thursday night, when we're going to do the challenge, I'm going to end up dumping out of these if they haven't sold. And I'll just take whatever price it is. And it's just because I just need to have this clear for the challenge. So, yeah. Hey, Thor, how's it going? See, I'm all in on my newest scam. Well, thank you, Thor, for recognizing that. So, Thor here, my favorite Viking. Oh, we are selling. Woohoo! Yeah. So, you know, I don't know how you can scam people on just showing them how to make profit and I'm not taking anyone's money. But, you know, whatever you choose to believe there, Thor. Pessimist all the way. Those Vikings, they are just pure pessimists. Yeah. So, yeah. So, okay, just sold some more. And yeah, so, you know, it's happening. Now, with the market being, you know, volatile and everything, I could start buying again, start putting out some buy orders at like, you know, 60.20 or whatnot. And then if it goes down there and I buy again, then I put it up at 60.30 or 61.20 or whatever, and starts going. The volumes are not bad at the moment. So the green to me means money coming in, meaning selling. Yes, see, me too. Me too. You know, I wish I could change the colors on this because, you know, I might change my selling to green and my buying to red. I don't know, it'd look like a Christmas tree, but, you know, yeah. You just made your first transfer? Let's do this. Woohoo! Yeah, I have a hard time with these colors. Just in all honesty, I do. So, now, one thing, you can put in as many buy orders as you want because you can cancel them, no cost. So, all right, let's start doing some buy orders. We're going to do 0.05, and I'm going to put it at 60.20. And then 0.05 and 60.10. And 0.05 and 60 even. All right, so now if I want more money to play with and get it moving in here where I'm getting some buys, then I could cancel some of these that I have in here, which like down in the, you know, I have some down here. I have this one at 57. Which I should just cancel that. But I just put that, I just dumped everything else into there because I was done entering stuff in. And so that would be like a lucky buy type of thing. So, all right. Looks like I just sold another one. Or just, yeah. Sold another one. So now I can do like 105 and 60.4. And what we'll do, yeah. So anyway, the only caveat with the whole thing here of using the form here to track your progress per day is that it doesn't have anything in here for tracking buy orders. And so you have to cancel them to know what dollar amount you have in here, unless you're, just a great wizard on the math and want to sit and add all this up. But you kind of have to cancel them, and they're easy enough to put back in. So, but that's what I've been doing. Yeah, I've never done trades of coins per coin. It's really just an exchange stuff. I suppose that a coin per coin, that if one's going down and the other one's going up, yeah, maybe you get some value transfer in there, and so you try and play the upswings, try and keep moving to stuff that's going to go break upwards. I could see that as a strategy. I don't know how I would do that though. All right. So, yeah, this is working so far. It looks like I sold another one. Perfect. Yeah, it is kind of currency trading. Just because of 0.05, just because it gave me enough trades, a bunch of trades, instead of doing like 0.1, just because of the amount of cash I had available. So if I had more cash, I would be, like if I was just trading in Litecoin and I liquidated everything else out and I was just trading in Litecoin, I would probably be trading at a half a coin each or a full coin. But just for the demonstration of all of this, I've just been doing it a little bit smaller amounts so I can get more buys and sells in. How long have I been trading for? Just a few weeks. So that's part of what the challenge is about. So the reason that we're doing this challenge is really to kind of prove that that there is money to be made in here. And oh yeah, selling again. Look at this. This is great. Is to just kind of prove that there's that the methods that I think are working, and then as long as it is, then I will put more money in. So I call it a proof of concept and everything, and it's a learning journey along the way. If I was an expert in all of this, I probably wouldn't be showing this. I probably wouldn't be showing all of this on YouTube in this and Twitch in this manner. I would probably just do a class and get you all to pay me for advice, But that's not what this is about. So this is that all of you who are joining in on this challenge to see how much you can make in 30 days. My thought is that some of you are going to really knock it out of the park. Some of you are going to lose money, and some of you are going to really knock it out of the park and do really good. And I want to talk to both ends of the spectrum of you. And so the ones who lost money, I want to know why. And the ones who made money, I want to know why, if that makes sense. So, and I am intentionally taking a very non-educated look at this. And what I mean by educated, I mean like book smart. I could go out and I could do some classes on trading with stocks and stuff like that, and learn all the terminology and everything. And I could go out and do some other formal education type stuff to really learn how to, do this properly and everything. But being an entrepreneur, what I want to do is I want to take my own look at this and say, okay, how do I think that I can do this well? And I want to do that, and I want to put it into practice, and I want to prove it. And so that's kind of what this 30-day challenge is about. I'm proving these methods that I have in my head. And so then after that, I'll go and take a look at what the professionals say and everything. And if the professionals say, do it a different way, I'm going to start playing with that in tandem with the stuff that I've learned on my own. And and then if I improve on things, great. If it doesn't improve my earnings, I'm going back to what I was doing. So I don't need to have formal education to be successful in something. I just need to be smart and logical about it and apply a lot of skill sets that, you know, make it work well, like just general business sense. So, and the very basics, and I want to keep it as simple as possible for this first portion because I think it's good to have a good foundation of what you are doing. So, look at this. Okay, so this is going up. We're making sales here. Look at Ether. It's going up. It was at 315 something, and it's at 320 now. It's going up. What is Bitcoin? Oh my goodness. Look at Bitcoin. Woo! Okay, so, if we had purchased down in here and, like 55 something and it went all the way up to 56 something, if you just added 1% in there, you'd have made $50 if you bought a whole coin. So, yeah, that's some nice movement starting up on it. It's already coming back down again. It's not as solid. Last night, my wife and I watched as Litecoin just kept shooting up and up and up. It just kept going nonstop up for 15 or 20 minutes, and it was pretty cool to see. And I sold a bunch of stuff on that. So that was pretty cool. Yeah. So I have all these buy orders in here, but I've sold some more. And let's see here. So, and I've got a bunch here for sale still. So 60.9 is my next one. And they may sit up there and it may sit down in here and I can just keep buying and reselling in this range. And if I really want to make sure that I get more movement going, I have been doing it at $1 per, but I could, shorten it down to the 1%, so it's about 60 cents per. Or I could shorten it even further and make it like 0.5%, 30 cents per. And this tends to go up and down in that range. I mean, it doesn't take long for it to do that. So, yeah. Always choose when you're gonna get out before you go in, or it's just a casino. Yeah, so I have not really been doing much stop loss yet, and the thing is because I'm really playing with where things are going and stuff. Now, if I start getting into some really serious dollar amounts beyond a couple $100, if I get up into thousands or tens of thousands, then yes, I think so. I think that that's very wise. And I was talking to somebody the other day who keeps their stop losses really tight, and he we had this big dip that was like $400 in a minute on Bitcoin, and he sold all of his stuff on stop loss, and I thought that was a little bit crazy, but whatever, it's really proof is in it's proof is in whether or not you're making money. And money isn't made until it's back in US dollars or until you spend the Bitcoin. So in my opinion, the money is not made until then. What's my opinion on Ripple? So Ripple is a different type of currency. I don't know much about it except that it is really low value, like typically under $1. And but you just have a lot of the coins. So it's just a little bit different take on things. I don't know whether it's a good investment or not. I've not done anything with it, so I couldn't tell you. So what do I think I'll make over 30 days? I think that I'm going to make 30%. So I think that right here that we're starting out with $100, and I will say I have won like it's a video game. If at the end of 30 days I have $133.45. So this is my strategy, and that is a 1% a day. So and at that point, if I'm able to do that, then I'm going to up the ante and I'm going to put more money in. So I won't put money in that if it's all gone, that I lose the roof over my head or anything like that. But I will. So I won't play with money that needs to pay the bills or for emergencies or anything like that. But I will play with other money, and because the more you add to it, like let's look down here. Like let's say I started with 10 grand. Let's find the closest to 10 grand. So here's the closest to 10 grand. So day 464, and so we need to go up to 494, and that'll be 10 days. So 10,000, and then 494, right here, 13,500. Basically, that is a $3,500 profit in 30 days. So when you yes, don't afford to play with what you can't afford to lose. It's just like Eve. If you can't replace the ship, don't undock. So are there major entities for which accept other currencies than Bitcoin? I think that there's some places that accept some Ethereum. Not sure based on that. So negative. You've been timed out once already for doing that. Now you're timed out again. So please don't promote your affiliate links and stuff. If you're wanting to give advice or whatnot, that's great. If you value the advice I'm giving, or you want to take part in the challenge or whatnot, use my links or just go do whatever. But coming in here and trying to hop on and get yourself a little bonus off of posting in our live show chat or whatnot, I'm not hip to that. So don't be disrespectful. Okay, so if we are at so let's say I have 20,000 in, and so 534. So let's go up to 564, and 27,000. So at this point, you're starting to get into really big money. And okay, so let's say it's 50,000 in. So 626, and we're going to go up to 656. And so we go to 50 to 67,000 in 30 days. And so at this point right here, this is where you could start taking half of that profit a month and start living off of that. So, and still continue to grow your base. So that would be really cool. Yeah. And you get up into the 100,000 base, so 696, so we're going to go up to 726, 35,000 a month. Let's just say you pay yourself 10,000 a month. You still made 25, a month, in that month, and you paid yourself 10. I would say at this point, you are doing really well. So, yeah. So I'm pretty excited about this. So not only for that, but we're going to start accepting it in our store and everything, and I'm excited about that as well. So I've sold a few more of these, and each one of those was the equivalent of $1. So it's 10 cents I made on each of them because it was, $1's worth, or 1%. So of, or maybe it was a penny each. I always get confused on that. But anyway, I bought lower and sold higher, so it worked. Okay, so that is, I think that's going to be about it for today for this episode. We have another one scheduled, another live show to talk about the challenge on Thursday. You can join us in, and the challenge officially starts on Friday. So exclamation point crypto in Twitch chat, and it's a link in the description in YouTube. And everyone is welcome to join, even if you're a seasoned professional. You know, you can just put your $100 in and then do, you know, trade in some other account or whatnot. Or it actually works out so that it's all about the percentages, and so you could modify this to do your whole thing, and yes. So identity verification, I've had problems with some of them. I agree that that isn't a problem. So, okay. So, and if you missed part of this, then you can see it on YouTube. And so, I look forward to seeing you there. Feel free to answer questions there. Also, in Discord, there's a link in the description in YouTube, exclamation point Discord in Twitch chat. There is a cryptocurrency section in there. Once we get started, I'm going to ask people to start posting screenshots of amazing trades they made and stuff like that, or losses that they took unexpectedly, so that we can all learn from that. We want to see what was successful so we can try and replicate it, and we want to know what didn't work so we can avoid it. And then we'll also, you know, post links to our spreadsheets and everything so that we can look at those. And okay, everybody, thank you. I appreciate y'all being here, hanging out, talking this geeky stuff that it's not video games, but damn it, I plan on winning this game. So, catch you all later. Have a great day. Till tomorrow.